Yep. Hello everyone. Hi Fayaz, Dharmendra, Shubham. I'm naming out the people I know from yesterday. So a special hi for you. For others, if they were not there yesterday, please you come up and feel easy to introduce themselves. Hi everyone. Would-
Hi,
We will
Kunal.
yes hi. We will try to keep the session just like yesterday, right? Interactive and fun, right? Hi Shubham, you there? All of us. Okay, so should I get started? Please confirm.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Yes.
Yes, Kumar, please.
Yes,
Okay.
Kumar.
Sure. Well, then let's go ahead. And as I mentioned, I gave you few options to choose from what you guys wish to learn first. So as I can see, you guys have chosen two of the major topics, right? First one is the most demanded is changing parameters without physically opening the model, right? Okay, we'll move on to that. And this is very similar to the third one, that is also the chosen one, adding room parameters. Okay, we'll cover whatever we have here, right? Okay, so shall we start with exporting NWCs without even opening the models? What do you think?
Yes.
Does that seem exciting, or just like whatever I'm saying, it doesn't make sense? How can we
No.
even
It's
export NWCs without even opening the model? Does that make sense? Yes, anyone? Okay, if no one's gonna say, okay, let me start with the any template. Doesn't matter which template I'm gonna start with, because I need to just have a host model. Why do I need a host model? Anyone? Because I know I'm working with Dynamo, right? So why do I need a host model? Is it necessary to open a host model? Anyone?
Sorry, what was the question again?
yeah, because a dynamo did elements.
Exactly, because Dynamo. Yes, Fires. The question was, why do I need to open template or any project? Because like,
okay, for
what is the
Dynamo.
need of it? Yes, because Dynamo opens on a host, and the host for the Dynamo will be a document, right? So now, and if you see, if I do not have a project, and if I see, the Dynamo will be grayed out, right? So to get the access
Mhm.
for Dynamo, I need to have a any template, whatever model I wish to open. It will just act like a host for me, right? Now I'll be going to the manage. We'll come back to the Dynamo, and yes, I'll show you first how it's gonna work. I have already written for you, but then we will write it together. Is that is that fine?
Yes.
Okay. So here you see, let's just say n number of models that I might have in my folder. I'll go with 24. Yep. Now you see here I have multiple models, right? How many Revit models do I have here? It seems like it says 6 items selected, right? So out of six items, how many of are the Revit models? Can anybody tell me? If you need me to zoom, I can little. Yes, everyone. Are you guys busy with Sunday evening? Like, I would like you to be
All
attentive.
six?
No, no, no. Not at all.
Okay, and okay, not yeah, all of them are models, but there are some backup files also, right?
Hmm.
So if
Yeah, I
you
see couple it's little blurred,
okay,
but I think one or two are backups.
Yeah, there are two backup files for sample practice link.
yep, right. There are some of the backup files also. So if definitely that's first thing that comes to my mind is if I wish to extract Nevis works for each and every model, there's definitely I don't want to open the backup files, right? That will be the first hurdle we would like to overcome, right? Okay, then let
Yeah.
me get back. And yes, if I run it, you will just see the result right now. Now here we go. If I run it, what do you expect? See, this is the path that I have selected right now. You just need to give the path with all the models that are in the directory, right? So what do you think? If I run it, there will be NWCs here. What do you think?
This looks like for Revit, no? The node says Revit.
Where? This one?
The node select folders containing Revit files.
Yes, that's right.
So
And
will it choose only Revit files or will it choose NFC and WCs also?
no, it will not choose any NWCs. You cannot extract NWCs out of NWCs, right?
Got
Right? We need a Revit model to extract NWCs, right? If I'm right. So here we have total 6 items that are Revit projects, right? So if I run it, I have already given this path D, work, Bimera, and 2024 models, right? So if I run it, what do you expect here? Is there anything specific you're expecting here? What do you guess? Any guesses? Although I have
I
already,
think
yes,
it will be exported to NWC, all the projects included.
exactly, exactly. So let me hit run, okay, and let me look at the folder first, okay. I clicked on run, so let's see what happens at the back. Okay, something is happening. Do you see something is happening? And there's a new folder being made. This folder was not there earlier, right? Please be focused. Okay, and here we go. I have 4 files here. Although they were in this model, in this place, there were 6 files, which out of them, 2 of them were backup files, right? But now, whatever, see, a new folder got created with the parent folder name 2024 models underscore NWCs, right? A new folder got made. In that folder, there are 4 NWCs because there were only 4 models, rest 2 of them were backup files. So that means my code, piece of code that is working, is ignoring the backup files on its own, right? Right? And
yeah.
after that,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can see all the 4 NWCs are exported, and here we go. We are here with a success message which says, hey, all the NWCs are exported in the location below, and this is the path with this folder. Go ahead, feel free to check your files. Cheers, right? You see, I did not open any
Yeah,
model, did I?
no.
So all the 4 models were exported into an NWC without even a opening single file physically, right? So are you excited to see how this happened?
Yeah, it's easy to work.
It's easy to work, and also along with that, let's just say you have multiple big of the models that are taking a lot of time for you to open. Then you have to, after opening the model, you have to export the NWCs, and there are multiple models. Let's just assume 20, 50
Yeah,
models, right?
it will take time also for the exporting.
Yes, and wherever, by going through this task, you will be chilling with your colleagues, sipping a coffee, and your task will be done by your system on your own. Makes sense, right?
Mhm.
I'll be
Yeah, yeah,
happy. I'll be happy if it's happening.
yeah,
Okay, so let me go back. Let me get my Dynamo back. Da, da, da. So we'll start fresh. Now what I'm gonna do is we'll go ahead, open the Dynamo, and now we will write that on our own. Okay? Yes? Do you want to see the code inside, or you want me to write from the scratch?
yeah. Right from the scratch, it is better, I think.
From
Okay.
scratch.
Yes, we'll start writing from the scratch. That's all right. But I would like, yes,
Sorry,
please.
I am having so much of disturbance in the background. Like,
Could everyone mute yourself, please? Yes, thank you. Is it all right for us now?
yeah, yeah, good. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Okay. So as I mentioned yesterday, this will be the file that I'll be always starting with. Okay, let me disconnect it because we don't want this. This is the original code. And I'll try to guide you all along the way how we gonna do what thing. And along with that, if you don't get something, that's all right, because there are many concepts working at the back of it and you are not aware of those, all of them yet, right? Because that is the reason you are here to learn. And if you're not able to understand something, do let me know. I'll try to explain it even better, but there are a few concepts that are working at the back of it. If you don't get it, that's all right, because you will understand in sessions, right? Are we good to go? Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
okay, so let's start from the basic, right? First of all, what is it? What is the thing that I have connected to this? What is this? Yesterday we have discussed few things. Please.
Input.
Yes, these are the inputs. Where am I getting this input right now? Here is in the element. But what is it that I'm
Mm.
getting? I know I'm getting a path, right? So better I'll name everything according to the way I could remember that, right? So I know I have got the path from here, right? And there'll be multiple things, imports happening at the top. Shabir Ali, could you please mute yourself? You wanna say something? Okay, it's all right now. Yep. So now I know I got my path, right? Let's see first. What have we got here? How do I see what is it? What is it in this? What is stored in this one? What is stored in the path? How do I see that? Anyone? Yesterday we discussed that. Yes. Fires. Shubham.
Sorry, what was the question again? I'm
Uh,
sorry.
are you busy with Sunday? Enjoying
No,
your
yeah,
day?
no.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's all right. Yeah, my question is now I have something in this path, right? So how do I see what do I have here? If I wish to see what is stored in this one,
Oh, it's out is equal to path, right?
that's right. That's why I asked everyone to be. Oh shit! I need to close freeze this one. This is also running. Yep. Yes. So this is the path that I'm getting. This is just the path. I am not getting anything out of this, but this is just the path. I know what do I have at this path? Anyone? What do I have at this path? At this path, I have multiple of Revit files that I wish, and
Right.
there could be multiple files other than Revit files also, right? So let me go this way. Let's get all the files, right? How do I get all the files? I'll make a variable which will the name of all files. What is a variable? Anyone? What is a variable?
Stores, it's a container.
Empty container, that's correct, right? So now I wish to store something inside that empty container. What do I wish to store? Now I know, see, I told you there are multiple modules working at the back, right? Similarly, there is one module that is not here, which will be helpful for me to do things from the OS, operating system, right? So what I gotta do is import OS. What this OS will give me, it will give me the access, the capability to deal with the operating system files or directories, right? So now what do I do is, there is something called as OS dot. Now you see, the moment after I write OS and write dot, I get this list of it. You see this blue things, right? Blue squares or blue cubes that are made. This means there are some methods, right? And now let me go ahead. I wish to go ahead with, what do you think? Where are my files? In a directory, right? So if
Yeah.
I go ahead, list of directories, and what is my directory? Where is my directory? What's my directory path?
D
No, my directory path. What is my path?
Path.
path.
What we selected as path, no?
Exactly.
Variable, it's
So
stored in path.
I'll pass that variable to this. Now I wish to see what are all the files I'm looking at this. Let me put a comma here, and you see I can put multiple things to the out keyword using a separating it with the comma. So now I see, yes, now I see multiple files. There are models, 24 models, nwc folder that we just extracted, right? So, and after that, sample file, blah blah blah, and all the multiple things. There are multiple of the files that are there in this directory, right? And out of that, I do not want most of it, right? I do not want this folder, I do not want this backup folder, I do not want, I most certainly don't want the backup files. So what do I do for that? Anyone? Yes. What do we do for that?
Filter.
We
Some
will
kind of
be,
filter.
yes, we will be doing some sort of filtering, and in terms of some conditions, right? Okay.
Yes, well, if state.
And I'll be using some of the advanced methods as well, like list comprehensions. So please don't be scared. And if you wish to have the easiest method for that, I'll let you know that as well. So now, and yes, one more thing, we will keep on putting comments so that next time if I come back to check what was the thing I written, what is the reason for writing something, I will have an understanding of, yeah, this was the reason I wrote this line piece of code, right? So that is the best practice. Filter for .rvt files and avoid backup files. So these are the two scenarios that I wish to write my filter for. So let's just get, yes, one more thing. I can get it in single line itself, which is the concept that I told you is list comprehensions. And if you remember, this will be mentioned here.
Do we use string operations here?
Yep, it will be a operation on string itself, but I'll be using list comprehension for looping over it, right? You see this? In the looping
Yeah.
statements, we have something called as list comprehension, right? So I'll be using list comprehension here. And yes, all Revits, I'll get that, just all the Revit files, right? After, out of all files, I want only the all of the Revits, right? So what is list comprehension? You will understand that in training, right? But for now, what do I wish is, I wish a file, right? Where do I wish that file from? For file in all files, right? Where are my all files? I want my file from all the files, right? But which file do I wish? Now comes the filter or the string operation that we're gonna do. Who mentioned that string operations? Fires, is that you?
I think you'll use the end, like string ends with dot rvt.
Exactly. That's what I was going to do. So if I say if file dot ends with, right? You are working
Ends
with
with.
Python already, right?
I did a bit.
Of course you did. File dot ends with what?
Dot rvt.
Exactly. If it ends with dot .rvt, that's the file I wish to have with me, right? So does that mean I'll get all the Revit files? I suppose instead of all files, I can.
Yeah.
Yes, I did get all the Revit files, but still, so part of filter, this much is done, but I wish to avoid the backup files as well. How do I avoid that?
Doesn't contain.
Okay,
Maybe.
okay, let's just go with, and here we will use another concept, which is yep, you see, which is gonna be our third class concept, which is operators and condition statements, right? What conditions are we gonna use? If we already used, right? Just the way we use if file dot ends with, right? If condition we used, right? Along with that, we're gonna use another logical operator, right? What logical operator we gonna use here? Any ideas?
Does not equal.
Nope. Logical operator. What are the logical operators? And, or, nor.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna use
And
and this. What is it? Every, if you see, there is one thing that is being followed here. There's one rule that is being followed here in the backup files. Dot 00 is definitely there, right? Dot
right.
00. So can I do that? Can I use that for my filter? Of course I can. If dot 000 not there, in, see, what I told you is Python is nothing but just talking with the computer, the way we are having the conversation right now. So what I'm saying is, and this is dot 00, not there in not there in file. That's all I wish
File.
to have. And now I have my final files. What are my final files? The total 4 files that I had with me, that I only wish to use after removing the folders, after removing the backup files, right? So I got my 4 files, but it's these are not files. Remember that these are just file names, right? Okay. What else do we have to do? Anyone? First of all, any doubts till now or any questions you wanna know? So he'll asks, first of all, let me take some questions. Is there any way to open edit profile family from Revit like wallsweep family? Yes, you can. Shubham, that was your question, right? Yes, you can do that. And Dharmendra Shavda, is it possible? Can we add parameters in multiple Revit families without opening them? Yes, you can. No doubt in that. For all of for Shubham's question and for Dharmendra, both your questions need to open a family document, which is possible. Yes, we can do that. So, Hail, do we have to unwrap text? Line 40, line 40, line 40, line 40. No, we do not need to. Yes, we don't need to unwrap the text. We need to unwrap only the elements coming from Dynamo, right? In this case, this is just a text. We do not need to unwrap. So if I remove it also doesn't matter. It's just, and it's also not harming me for anything. So how can you show me please right now? You mean right now? That won't be possible. But yes, as I mentioned, in session we do have last 3 sessions for the same thing reasons, right? 27, 28, 29, right? For setting up real world set time projects and real problems. So yes, there I will be more than happy to help you with your issues. If you have some specific workflows, we will be talking about those, right? Is that all right, Shubham? Thank you. Yep. Any other questions? Okay, and then let's go. Okay, so what else do we need to do now? After this we got all the files, right? But there could be scenario, right? If you think of the future perspective, if you think about the user perspective, user could have given the wrong location as well, right? Do you get it? What if user gave a location where there is no Revit files? What will you do in that case? What do you think? Yes,
Some sort of error exception handling.
exactly. We need to have an exception handling, or we need to have some conditions in place. If this is not working, then don't do this thing, right? So similarly,
Yeah.
the way we gonna use the if conditions, and along with that we could go ahead with the error handling as well, right? Or let's go back. Now if I say, if you remember when when I kept it unfrozen, even if I run it, it will give me this warning, but it will show me this file warning, but it will not show any warning over here. Do you see that? Although I haven't even connected any path to this. It just asked me to please choose the correct folder with Revit files existing in the folder. Better luck next time, right? And a small wink. So see, it did not give me any warning also, but it is just showing an output as no Revit file found. But if we do not write any exceptions or anything, what it will give is, it will just show a warning here, right? If you wish to see, now if I run it, this is showing null and empty, right? Because there is nothing. This list, I'm putting it out, it's just showing empty, but it is not telling me what is the issue. Nothing, right? Because there are no exception handlings there. Let me freeze that again. Okay, now coming back to the code. Yes, what else do we expect now? I wish to have some conditions in place that if there are files in this, then only I wish to execute my piece of code, otherwise I do not need to, right? So can I say the very basic conditions only I'm writing for you at this point. If length, what is the length? Let's get back and understand that first. You see this website? This is one of my favorite website, and this will always be helpful for you as well if you wish to move ahead, and I'll be showing you this in the demos as well, and in the live sessions as well. So if you see, this is a function that returns the number of items in a list. What is this? I have a list of files that I have a list that contains all the Revit files, right? So can I write a condition if length of Revit, if length of all files means my list contains something, right? So let's go back. If length of what? Length of all Revits. Length of Revit what? Tell me the condition. Yes. Nobody? Come on.
Is less than one or something.
I wish to, yeah, I can write it that manner also, but I can simply say what when I wish to execute is if length of this list is greater than 0, right? If this is greater than 0, then what do I wish is I wish to have a base folder name. What is my base folder? If you see, uh, in this a very big path, right? But while creating a new folder here, when we go here, we took the name only this name, right? 2024 models, and then we added underscore nwc after that, right? So here what we're going to do is similarly we'll go ahead with the same path. We'll take the base folder path, and again if we are taking some path or something from the PC's location, again we'll be using a module name at OS. Again it gives me capability to go ahead with the path. Nope, OS path. Then I have a property name as base name, and which will expect a, again which will expect nothing but the path that we have here, right? So now what I'll have in base folder is just 2024 models, right? And yesterday I told you something, string operations. How do I add something after this? Yes, I wish to have this
Plus,
name as I wish to have this name as 2024 model underscore NWC. Yes, someone said something.
is plus a string operator.
Exactly, that's true. That's right. And we're gonna do ahead here is plus. Can I write this underscore NWCs? Is this all right? Sorry, NWCs. Is this all right? Is this okay?
It
Yes or
should be
no?
string, right?
Yes. So what am I missing? Come on, correct me.
Quotations.
Exactly. So it needs to have double quotations. The thing I mentioned yesterday, to make it as a string, it should be enclosed in a double quotations or single quotations, right? That we're gonna learn in the basic Pythons. If you remember, the first 7 days of our course is gonna be completely Python itself, right? We'll be learning all the basics of Python. Similarly, just like we performing when we are talking about other modules, file modules, open close, all these modules. Similarly, we are having right now we're working with one module which is OS module, right? So now if you see, my base folder's name should be, if I run it, it should be 2024 models underscore nwcs. This is just a name. I did not create the folder yet, right? So let me remove this first. Okay, so now what I wish to do is I'll put a comment. What is the comment? I wish to create a new folder with the directory name if, and there also I wish to have one condition, right? If it doesn't exist, it is possible that someone is running the code for the second time, right? And the folder could already be there existing, so it will throw an exception. So now what I'll go do is I'll create a directory os dot, and where do I have to create the directory? At this location with the name of this folder, right? So we'll be using the same thing again, os dot path dot join. Is it getting boring, everyone? What are
It's
the things
not,
I
but
wish?
some
Yes,
few commands are not understandable. So
please let me know, please let me know. Yes.
no, I mean I think it's just a syntax that needs to be
Okay, which
like
one you didn't get it?
why
Please let me know. That's why I'm
like why
here.
are we like no like like OS, why are we using that
The
and all that?
module, right? Yes. So
Yeah.
why are we using OS module is I'll show you. Yep. Okay. Y- Can someone read that for me? See, let me read it. The Python OS module provides a way of using operating system dependent functionalities, right? Okay. What are the things that are we doing right now? We are reading files from a location, right, Vyas?
Yeah, from
So
the
if I location means where that location exists in my operating system,
in the
right?
directory,
Yes,
right?
directory. But there are modules written for to deal with particular things, like to deal with the operating system regarding things like the path, directory, and along with that their files. And if I have to create a new folder, I have to okay. If I have to create a new folder manually, what will I do here is I'll go ahead. I'll go to
Oh,
new,
make that.
right? I'll go to new. I'll create a new folder, right? That's what I'll do.
I think it's the terminology for Python, right?
Sorry.
Like make directory and all. It's only confined to Python, or is it like
No, 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 no. This is
same?
universal. This is operating systems universal. You know that, right? This 2024 itself is a directory, right? This any folder in in IT terminologies or in programming terminologies, you call the folder as a directory, right?
Yeah, yeah,
A folder is a directory, right?
right,
And
right.
after directory, inside directory, you can contain other directories as well, just like that. In this 2024 directory, 2024 model directory, you have another directory which contains files. These are the
Files,
files, right?
right.
Now similarly, if I come back here, you see what did I get? I got list of directories, right? What was the list of directories? Inside that, everything that I was having, I collected it. But out of those things, out of that directories, I wish only to have the things that are relevant to me, which were the Revit files, and avoiding the backup files. Does that make sense now?
Yeah, yeah,
So similarly, now we are creating a new directory that will be after combining this path, right? At this path, sorry, let me delete this first of all. At this path, this will be the path, and I wish to the name that I created new one is the 2024 models underscore NWCs. So I wish to place that at that particular location. First I need to combine those names, right? For that we have a path.join this folder. Okay, so what this will do is this will just join the path, right, by adding this backward slash, and it will create a new path, new directory path. But if you understand, this path does not exist yet, right? You know that, right? I just deleted this file.
yeah,
I deleted that
right.
folder, right? So it does not exist. But if it does exist, I do not. And one more thing, if you have a folder of one name, you cannot create another folder of the same name, can you?
No,
We can't, right? We will get an exception, the warning. So for the same thing, I'll be writing this thing. If not what? Os.path, this path dot exists. If it doesn't exist, what is the path I'm talking about that does not exist? this path that I created,
uh,
right? If
the
it does not exist, then only I wish to have I wish to have my function to run, or I wish to complete the operation. What is the operation that I wish to do right now? Come on, I would expect that answer from you first. What operation? To create a new folder, right?
create a new folder named, yeah.
Right. So os dot make c.
Oh, make direct dir, right?
Exactly. Yes. To make directory. What directory I wish to make? Add this here. Dir run. Right. Now if I run it, what do you think? See, right now there's nothing called as 2024 model underscore NWC, right? Let me run it, and here we go. Now we have a new folder called 2024 models underscore NWC, right? We could have extracted it
Right,
here at this location also, not an issue. But for a better management, we are creating a new folder, and inside that we will go ahead with our particular thing. And now if you see, if I run this again, this will understand if this does not exist, this directory does not exist, then only it need to create a new one. Now it is existing,
right,
right? If I run it, nothing will happen. Why nothing will happen? Because this directory already exists, right?
right.
Do you get it now? I hope that
Yeah.
clarifies your
If you,
question.
if you don't write this line, then it will keep on giving error. Or
I hope so. It should give that. Let me go back. Da, 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 da. Yes, see, what do I get?
yeah,
File exists error. Cannot create a file when that file already exists. Do you get it now?
right,
So this was the reason. And please, for everyone, if it's getting boring, please try to question, try to get involved. Then only you will not feel bored out of it. I know it can get too much because you're looking at the live codes for the first time, right? And first of all, tell me how many of you opened the Dynamo yesterday and went to the Python script and tried anything? Anyone? Any arithmetic operation or anything? Did anyone do that? Yes.
no,
Nope. Right. And it will be scary then. So please try to get your hands dirty, right? Only then we'll be able to have better understanding. And now is the time. This is all till the Python OS modules we were learning, right? Whatever we did, we just created a new folder. Now we are coming back to the our Revit API things, right? Now tell me one thing. How do you create? How?
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So, what is base name? Like, what is that method base name doing?
The base name is returning you the folder name, this folder name 2024 folder.
Got
You see, this is a big path, right?
got
It could be any big path, but I do not want that entire path. I just want this, the last path, the last folder name that I wish to
Okay,
continue in my next folder, right?
got got it.
Yes. Okay, any other questions? Yes. If not, then we are good to go to move to the Revit API documentation first, right? First of all, I'll write what we need to do. Define options. We need to define few options for exporting the NWC. Okay, we'll be defining few options for the Navisworks, and now you should be asking, please continue questioning, what are the Navisworks options? If I'm saying I should not write anything on my own, right? You should ask me, why am I writing Navisworks options? And here we come. Now tell me, who will tell me the manual way or the journal way of exporting an NWC? How do we do that? I'm in the Revit. How do I export the Navisworks? Yes.
File export
Okay,
NWC.
let's get back to the file. Then let's go back to the okay export. Then NWC. Okay, that's the general path we do, right? But you see, we have something at the bottom called Navisworks settings as well, right? How many of you have done the settings before?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can convert the elements and
Yes, you have multiple settings here, right?
arrange the coordinates. Yeah,
So what are these settings? These are and did you ever read this on the top? What it says?
yeah.
What does it says?
That's it. Names
What
of
is
options.
Navisworks options editor? What are the options? Means what to do, what not to do, right? To telling the system setting our settings. So this I want to do this, I want to do this, I don't want to do this, to tell these things, right? Okay. So first of all, let's get back to the Revit API documentation. What do we wish to do now? We wish to make an export, right? Let's write export. There are multiple methods of export. Let's click on export, not this one. Export. Okay. Do you see this? What do you get? What do you understand from this? Anyone? Let me look at the chat box as well. Not equal to zero is button. Which library should we import to use these directory features? So Hill, to use these directory features, we are using import OS. In the beginning itself, I mentioned, right? You see at the top, I imported this OS. So OS will be the module that we'll be using to go ahead with the directory functions, right? And yes, one more thing, this is for everyone. If you are going through the videos as well, or recording, or whatever you are looking at right now, right? You could even replicate the entire workflow for your organization as well. It will be helpful for you as well to stand out of all, obviously, right? So yeah, before that, now we saw Navisworks settings and all those things, but yeah, I came to the documentation and I searched export. What do you understand by this? Can anybody read out for me? What do you understand by this? It says export an overload list. Multiple things are going on. PDF export, GPXML, IFC, Navisworks, OBJ, multiple things. Oh my god. Yes. What do you understand by
Uh,
this? Yes. Someone was saying something.
I think
Same
they are
method
I
for
think
the
audio
different
files.
formats.
Yes. So can you read the description? Which one do we need to use? Which one do we need to use? What does the description says? Which one do we need to
Uh,
use? If you want, I can zoom it up for you.
Fourth one,
Fourth one,
One,
NWC
two,
format.
three, four.
Navis.
Navisworks format. Let's click on
export.
this. Okay. So let me take this thing. Let me take this thing back to my workflow first, because this is the thing I need to use, right? Okay. Let's get back down. So here I'll, and yes, one more thing. If you are still thinking why am I using this hashtag, the hashtag is a syntax for commenting out things. If I wish to comment this single line, no matter what I write in this line, Python will never read this out. It will always consider it as a comment, so it will never be executed, right? But if I remove this hashtag and then if I run it, it will be considered as a warning, because most of the things are not relevant to this, because this is just a comment, right? Now similarly, I wish to make another comment. I'll make a, and yes, this is single line comment. There is a syntax for multiple line comment, which could be three double quotes, then your whatever you wish to write, then again three single quotes, right? Now you see, this is what we got from there, right? From the documentation, Revit API documentation. Now what does it says? This is a method that we need to use, which is export, which asks what things. i'll I know these are the things that are meant to be told in classes, but I'm still open to tell you right here as well. So you guys wanna please focus. Even if you don't join the course, that's all right to me, but even if you do, you will have an in-depth understanding. So please be here with me. Are you guys there?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So I'll be letting you know what is happening here. This is a method that we are using, which is a method called export, right? And for this export, this is the bracket where it is starting the bracket here and it's closing here, right? If you understand this, I would say you will understand like little bit of API, then you can use on your own as well if you get this right. So what is it expecting? It's expecting 3 inputs. How many inputs it's expecting? Could you please tell me?
Folder name options.
It's asking a folder. You see commas, these are separated by commas. So this is first input, another comma, this is second input, and this is the third input, right? So first it is asking a folder, right, where I wish to export entire things, right? And that folder should be in form of which data type?
String.
Exactly, that's right. After that, it's expecting the file name. What is the file name that I wish to export as? It's expecting that name also in format of a string, right? So after that, it's expecting options, but here you see these are grayed outs, but this is clickable. This is like a hyperlink, it is letting me go into another page. So it brings me out to another class. So once we are into the sessions, I will explain it even thoroughly, what are the classes, what are the namespaces, right? And you see, while exporting also, here we have an option, export nwcs and dwgs, so we will understand in depth at that time also. So we are, what are the options, what are the classes, what are the members, constructors? Here we have a constructor for this, and I know it can be overwhelming. It is getting right. Fire, Shubham, Gerald, right?
Kind of.
It is getting overwhelming, I can understand, because we are starting at the mid in between, right? I cannot start from
Yeah.
the beginning, so it's just 1 hour session of 45 to 50 hours classes.
Yeah.
But yes, so we need to have a export in there. So we already got it there as a comment, but we will start exporting. How do we do that? As I mentioned, export is a method that we can use, but to export on which, let me get back here. If you see, let me get back here. Do you see which class it export method is coming from? Can anybody tell me which, in which, under which class you see the method?
Document class.
Exactly, that's right. And I hope a little bit of your concepts get clarified by the end of this session. Okay, so that means that export method is on under which document class, right? Where do I have my document here? Can anybody see that? I can give a hint, it's in between four.
Document manager dot instance.
So this doc is my document. How do I get to know it doc is my document? I'll show you right here. Control V. Okay, da. What did I run? Do I have anything selected at the back? Oh, of course, yes. Cancel. Yes, now it's completed. What do you see? I kept the last thing as document. It says what? Autodesk.revit.db.document. Does something look similar to that here? Yes. Does
Yeah.
does that, like, something comes into the picture, right? It can get aligned a little, right? Document, right? That seems okay to me. Now if this is that, I can use any of these export method on the top of it. So if I have this document, I can use any export method on the top of it, right? So let's go ahead with that. Should we take single file out of it, or you wish me to write the entire code? Because if I'll show you this piece of code, it will be too big, and I don't think we'll be able to cover the another one also. You see, then I have to write this for loop entirely for you. Is it all right if we take single file? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's go ahead. Sup. Okay, so now what are we going to do with this? Yep, these are the multiple files. Out of that, I'll take one file. How do I take one index out of a multiple, out of a list? This should be clear to the people who have understood Dynamo and the code blocks. How do I get, this is the old Revits which
List,
contain, yes.
list of zero, list of multiple numbers, you're saying?
No, I just wish to have one. Let's just
Using
say,
square brackets.
okay, let's get with the
Okay.
new
List
sample.
bracket.
Bracket, bracket what? I wish to have
Index
the
number.
index 0.
Yeah.
So I'll write 0, right? So now I will have just one of this file, right? Which is just a name till now, right? Okay. So now let's go ahead and move forward. Now to start with this method, I know this method will be used on the top of document, right? So let me go ahead. I'll write it here itself in this nested only. You see why I'm writing everything under this if condition only, so that if this length is more than 1, then only my this entire code will execute. Otherwise, I do not wish to execute that, right? Okay. So
Right.
now what do I gonna do? What am I gonna do is I will call the method. What is this method? Export method, right? On the top of which this document. What is my document? Doc dot export. Is that right? That is
Mm.
the method's name, right? Export.
Okay. Yeah.
Doc.export. After that, it is asking for a folder. Where's my folder? Where's my folder? Did I put this
Mm.
dir in the?
dir.
Do you remember? Okay, what is it? What is it?
Yeah.
What is it? Oh, we kept this open, na? Yeah. Yep. You see, this is the folder where I wish to export it, right? So can I give this dir as first input as the
Yeah.
folder? Perfect. Great.
File name.
File name. How do I get the file name in Revit? In the Dynamo? Yes. Any? Okay. Let's just say, how do I get any name of an element? Do we have a node called element.name?
Yeah. Element dot. Yeah.
Is that right? Da, 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 da. Yeah, it is there. I know. Dot name. Dot name. Dot name. Yep. Room name and whatever. So we have a node called element.name in the here as well, right? Similarly, now I have the document with me. I wish to know the document's name. So do we have any method or something property called as we have the document, right? I wish to have that name itself. Where is the name? Where's the name? Name, 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 name. Anything known as name? What do you think? Do you think there will be something called as name? There is something called as title, right? Do you get
Right.
it? So I can use that title as well, whatever document I'll be using. But before that, even if I do not wish to do that, I can give the name straight away in the string as well. What name do you wish to give? You can say demo, right? That will be the name. Okay, move forward. Now it's asking for Navisworks export options. What are the options? I showed you what are the options. The settings that you're gonna have for the exporting. Export NWCs. Navisworks export settings. These settings are the ones that it is expecting from us to set there, so that it know every time what are the settings that it needs to consider, right? So we can go ahead with each and every setting if we wish to, but for now I can just create it and leave it as it is. I'll tell you where is it. Navisworks export options. Yes, here you see. If I go back here, you see these are the all the settings. Can you see something similar to that? Let me show you right here. File, export, Navisworks, settings. Let's put it here. Let me take a snip out of it. Okay, now let's get back to the browser. Okay, let's go down. Come on, do you see any similarity here? Read between these and read between these. Anyone? What do you think? Is there any similarity? No one? Come on.
Yeah, all of them correspond with each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
Exactly, whatever options you see here are shown here. What did I tell you yesterday? That whatever settings, whatever things you are seeing in the UI is part of a command that is working at the back end, right? Similarly,
Right.
there could be no better example to show you right here. All the settings you're seeing here are right here with you, and all these settings have a default value as well. Default value, default value, default value, right? So as of now, I do not wish to change any of it, but we can change each and every settings while giving the default options. But right now I have a constructor. I'll just, and what is constructor? It is also one of a big concept. I will explain. Obviously not right now, but it's a big concept. But yeah, for now, I will make sure to make an options here itself, because there are default settings. So I can make a option with the default settings itself. Now it's like export options. Navisworks export options, and I'll take this. This will be our Navisworks export options. So now in this document dot export, what I can do, I can put this Navisworks export options, which is Navisworks export options. Okay, here I don't think nobody asked me this question. Are we working on the current file that we working? Are we working on this file or the file that is not even opened? Which file are we working on?
We have we have to pass each of the files through this
Yes,
particular.
that's correct. And right now we'll be passing just single file. That's all right. But did you understand that I am not working on this current file right now, which its title is what?
Yeah.
Its title is Project 3. I'm not working on this, right? I do not
Right.
want to export the Navisworks from that, because if I wanted to export Navisworks from that, I could have just gone to file and exported it right there, right? I want to export Navisworks from particular file that is not even open with me here, right? So first of all, what is this document? This document, I told you, Dynamo will be stick to a particular document that is it is open on, right? So if I check the title of this particular document, what will be the title? What do you think? Okay, I left something open then. Da, da, da. Hashtag. Yep. What is the title of this project? Title of the current project that I have open. It is project 3. So that means I'm using this options exporting on which folder, on which project, on the current document, which is doc.export. I do not want that, right? So that means I need to open a new document at the back end. Do you get it? I'm sure it can be a little
Yeah.
tricky to get it at this point, but yes, I need to open a new file in the memory itself. So what I'll be doing is new document. And how do I get to know to open a new document? See, similar. How do we open in the Revit? We go to file, we open new document, right? So we'll be doing the same. I'll search for open. You see, open document file. Okay, let's go through that. We have a method which says open document file, and it is working on a application services. It is from the namespace autodesk.revit.application services dot application. So that means we need to have this also. If I need to call this method on the top of it, do you see the similarity of the methods? When we were calling this method doc.export, we needed the autodesk.revit.db.document, right? If you remember this, if you remember, we needed this to call the doc export method on the top of it. Now what do we need? Now we need another one, which is application, that I already have here, which is app. How do you know that this is the one? I know that because I have made that. You see, autodesk revit.application.application. We got the namespace, right? So that means if I wish to open another document, I need to do it on the top of that particular one. So can I do that? Let's just make a new variable, new document is equal to, I already have the application with me. What is this application? The Revit application that is open at the back end of me. The Revit application that is open at the back end. In this application only, I wish to open a new project that will be open in the memory, and it will not even be shown to the user. All files will open on its own, will export, and it will close on its own, right? So now let us go ahead. App dot, what should I write next? I think something you should have understood till now. What do I write now? App dot something similar. Last time here was autodesk.revit.db.document. Now we have autodesk.revit.application.app. This I already have in app. So something after that, what do I need to use?
Open document file.
Perfectly right. So now dot open document file. What is the file? What are the inputs it is taking? I think till now we are clear with that. What is the file name? What is the input it is taking? Okay, what input do you need to open a file
String input.
manually? Sorry, string input.
String
But
input.
what should be the string? What should be in the string?
The file name.
And
Exactly. If you are opening the file manually also, how will you do? You will give the path, right? Similarly, it's asking for the file name. Let me give the file name. Do we have the file name? Do we have the file name with us? Yes. We have the file name in two pieces, right? First is path, which is the directory path, which takes me there. But now I have all Revit 0. So that means this will be the new sample.rvt, right? I need to combine those. So let's go back, open file. So first is path. I need to combine this path, Control C. Then what? After that file, what should be there? Yes. What should I combine the file with? The backslashes plus the first file that I wish to open right now will be this one. Control C, Control V. Okay. And now if you wish to see first what did we make after combining this, so you can see this here. Let me remove all of it. Now you can see we have the exact file path. Do we? In 2024 models, we have the new sample.rvt. Can we locate it here? Yes, new sample.rvt. Do we have it? Now this is the file path only. So now I wish to open it. Let's open this file path, and after opening, this will be in a new document, and I would like to know the name of that new document that I'll be opening. How do I check the name of that? I just did earlier. How do I do it? I just wish to check the name the way I check the name of this project 3. Anyone? Yes. How do I check it? Yes. It got too boring, right?
Oh,
Yes.
it's a title.
Exactly. So there's a property of a document which says document dot title. So if I run it now, this file has to be opened. I gave the path. This file will open at the back end. I will not even see this. You see, at the back end, we will still have the project 3, but it will open in the back end. We will not get to know that. If I run it, sorry, if I run it, okay, did I miss something? Indentation. Yep, of course, it's indentation because it's going inside this. Zoop, zoop, zoop. It says in line 64. Yep.
I think you put double backslashes. That's why.
Nope, that is to for escape characters. Yep. Now you see. Yes. What do you think? What is the file's name? The file's name is new sample, but it is not open in the backend with us. It is not even showing here, but the file is open. That is the reason I can check the new doc dot title. So the file name is new doc dot title. Okay, that's all is cool, right? Now what do I have to do next? Now from that particular file, I have to export the Navisworks. So this is the new document, but I was exporting it earlier on the previous document. Now I wish to export it on the new document. So should I run it? Yes. I am expecting run started and run completed. It was this much smooth. And yes, if I go back to this, I have a file demo.nwc because I gave the name as, yep, I gave the name as demo. What do you think? Did you open the file manually? If I give 10 files also, it will open on its own, it will close on its own, and it will export nwc and it will complete the process for me. What do you think? Yes.
So
Who
easy to, yeah.
who all are overwhelmed with this? I know it can be very overwhelming because if I will see the code at this level and the beginning itself, I'll be scared for sure. I'll be scared to that. What about others? And yes, one,
Good. I just threw it.
thank God you liked it. And one more thing, if this is, I took this only single one, only index one of the document. If we need multiple, we will put in a for loop. That's it. If we'll put in a for loop, it will open on its own every time, close on its own every time, and it will keep on extracting the files, right? Okay, any questions till now? I do not want to
So
scare you more.
why do we have a double slash at path?
Yes, good question. These are called escape characters, right? Why I'm saying escape characters is because if you see backslash, single backslash is having a special meaning in Python itself. Okay, how do we know these are having special meanings? If you see, I'll show you from my previous ones. No, wait. Let me open this one. You will understand why I'm saying double backslashes. Okay, it's here. Yep. You see this? Do you see I have used backslash n here? Because there is a special meaning. If I use backslash with an n, it says new line, right? Now if you see, now look at this particular one, it says backslash n, better luck next time. Wherever it says backslash n, it is denoting a new line. Okay, let me unfreeze it and I'll run it for you. You see, it is putting that text in a new line. How do you get to know that? Let me bring out the
Got
text.
it. Got it. It's a special operator in Python. That's why the double
Yes.
one
So,
asserts
and
that it.
to escape the special meaning out of it, if I put this single one, see, it will be taking it as a special meaning, right? But I do not want to I am not intended to use any double or special meaning here, right? What I wish to do is I just wish to use it as a single backslash. So I will use another backslash to escape the special meaning of this particular backslash, which that's why we call it as a escape character. Now if you see, I use another one. Now it is not treating it as a special character, right?
Got it.
Yes. Any other questions? Thank you for your questions, I would say, because I'm sure rest of are really overwhelmed and they are not even thinking. They'll say something wrong. And you can ask anything. Please feel free.
So that
Muralidhar,
last
yes.
one where we keep writing out is equal to new doc dot title. So
Yes.
that so that is showing a particular output onto the node for ready reference, is it?
Yes. This new doc dot title I wrote just for myself because I wanted to show you that this new document is open, which is showing you the name. Even if you don't wish to, you can write anything.
So
Exports.
whatever we write it out, that will show up there at
Yes.
the node.
At it will show you
Okay.
at out. Yes, whatever you wish to take out of it. That's it. But here I do not wish to take anything out because my operation is being done inside only, so I do not wish to export anything. But yeah, here if you see in my previous code, I have everything written inside of it. Where is that code? Da, da, da. Where is this? Okay, it's frozen. It's not coming out. Where did it go? Is it open already? Not sure. Okay. The thing is, it is already whatever you're gonna put it in the out will be the output for you to take further. Ah, okay, it is open here,
Got it.
right? Okay. Any other questions? And yes, Murlidharan, you have a question, right? But there is no control over export options like we do in manual Navisworks. Of course there is. Of course there is. Who said it's not there? Who said it's not there? It is there. You see this piece of code? I have already made the Navisworks export options there, right? Including the each and everything. Do I wish to export links? No, I do not wish to. Do I wish to go ahead with the parameters? How I wish to go with the parameter? Navisworks.elements. The same you are using in there. Do I wish to convert element properties? Yes, I wish to. Do I wish to convert the link CAD formats? No, I don't want to. How, what coordinates I wish to export? I wish to export it as a shared. What is the scope of it? You see in this I have written particular rules also. It will open every model, but
Okay.
it will export only the view which will be named as Navisworks, right? In from each model.
Okay, so you have like stored the Navisworks export options in NWEXOPT, right?
Yes.
Uh, and then you have just you we just use boolean on like to declare it either true or false.
These are properties actually. These are properties, right? So properties, these are they are having two parameters, get and set parameters, right? So if you
Yeah.
see these Navisworks export options, where is it? Yep. See these properties, they are having a get and export links. You can get it or you can set it. So equal to operator is the set operator, right? So I set it equal to true. So that means, and it is expecting a bool as well, right? So I set it to the true. True is nothing. You remember, I think in the Dynamo also you must have learned that check, uncheck, true, false. Do you
Yeah,
remember
true
that?
or false. Yeah.
Exactly. It's working the similar true, false, 0, 1, check, uncheck, right? All these
Yeah.
things are working similar. Yes, correct. Similar way, I assigned it to the true and false if I wish to export or not, right? Is does that clarify your question, Mr. Mulli?
Regarding having a view name
Mm.
as Navisworks,
Yep.
so is it like a best practice? Which so prior to doing all this
Mm-hmm.
exporting, I would have had set up a view inside the each of the Revit files
Mm-hmm.
and 3D view and named it as Navisworks with the particular elements that I wish to export. Is it
Yep.
like that?
Yep. Why I have done that particular list? This is actually a best practice. Why? Because in that view, I know everything is controlled by me, and you in the entire project phases, you must have to export NWCs at multiple phases, right? Not at once. It's not like the project
Yeah.
is completed now only export NWC. No, you might have to export it at multiple phases in the between the project also. So having a particular view name, obviously this has to be a 3D view which is set already for you, that if let's just say XYZ person out of your organization is also exporting, you are not the one exporting, but you are the one who started the project. Now you have it there. Now someone else also starts exporting, they know which view to export all the time, right? Because that view particular have all the settings done particularly for to export the things out of it, right? So that seems like a good practice to me. It could differ person to person and workflow to workflow. Yes.
So is it because the Navisworks export would somehow the section box controls will influence the model in the export? Is it because majorly because of that? Because
I'll,
other properties were
let me show you. See, whatever will be there in this view, let's just say I'll put a wall. Whatever will be there in this view will be exported. If you are putting this, and let's just say in this model, it is just an architecture model, okay, and in this view always you have the template set that you do not wish to export any mep out of this element in this particular view, right? This is architecture model, let's
got
just say, but all the files are linked in this model only. But in this particular one you have a template set in which you have all the work sets of rest of just only architecture things are open. So other people are working, they don't have any issues, they can work with their particular view. But this naviswork view will always be set with the particular things that you will wish to export at the for the exportation of the navisworks. Does that make sense to you now?
got it, got it.
Yes. I think Mr. Bhayag will also agree with me. Yes,
Yeah, that's true.
that's great.
So sometimes in the Navisworks export,
Mm-hmm.
um, after I create the NW NWI, I see a lot of random, not random lines, lot of lines showing the position of grid lines, etc. Is it because it's coming from the 3D model?
No, that depends
There are a
on
lot
what.
of lines
That
floating
depends
around.
on. Yeah, I get it. Though that depends on how modeling practice you are following. Is it a good modeling practice or not? The reason being, if you see this wall, you see, right? This wall's actual profile is
Yeah,
this, right? Okay. Let's
yeah.
just say I modify it with the profile itself, and I'll keep it from here to here. But its actual profile was this only, right? And along with that there could be multiple things that I wish to change something, and if I wish to place walls, or I remove from some element from one place to another in bad practice, like how would I say, in this it's set to top constraint of unconnected, right? But let's just say, let's put it to level 1, okay, and above that I extract this wall. This will be in the top offset, perfect. But now I'll edit this profile. I'm very comfortable in 3D, so if you see what I'm doing, so you can understand. Okay, now if you see, do you see this wall? This
Yeah.
wall is still there, and I'm sure of it. If you take it to Navisworks, it will show you this in a, I would say, in a transparent manner, right? Is that what you're talking about, right?
No, so I get this. What I'm talking about is all the grid lines in the plan. We
Mm-hmm.
make grid lines, no?
These
So
grid lines,
all
yes.
those,
Okay, all the
these are the
grids.
levels.
Yeah, grids.
Apart, yeah. So all the grid lines keep showing up, which I don't need in Naviswork,
Ah,
like
you
You can turn on
everywhere.
and off
no, you can
in
turn it off.
Naviswork.
You can turn it off in the Navisworks as well. What's the issue?
Okay, okay,
I do not have navies with
I'll,
me. I would have shown you, but yeah, I do not have navies with me. Yep.
okay.
You will have an option here itself. Where is it? Da, 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 da. You will have an option here itself to turn off the in the settings itself. Da, da, da. You will see something like this in hide grids.
Okay.
Yep, you will find it. Don't worry about that. Okay. So any other questions? Yes. Anyone?
So this method should allow us to export to IFCs also. No? If I
Yeah.
am to use this,
Yes. You can use export IFCs as well. Here we go. In export method, you see you have an option to export IFC export options, right? With this you can export IFCs as well, whatever you wish to. I told you, you have the entire access of the Revit backend, whatever you wish to do in terms of multiple files, in terms of multiple workflows, it's all in your hands, right? So yeah, it's 10 already, but do you wish me to go ahead with the other thing as well? that we are going to discuss to change parameter in other folder, like in the file that we opened right now. You see that file is still open in the backend. I did not close it yet, right? This new document is already open with me. So if you want, I can change something in that also. Yes, or are we? I think it's more than enough for the day if it's getting undigestible, because we have classes, I guess, starting from tomorrow itself. So you will learn a lot in that from the scratch, definitely. This is somewhere I'm taking you somewhere in between, in the middle of the sessions. It's somewhere around the class 21st. You will learn exports, right? So before that, you have a lot more to learn. So if you wish to continue, if you wish to learn from the scratch, please do join, and I'll see you there. In the meantime, if you wish me to continue with other ones, I'm good to go. Otherwise, we can end for the day as well. Let me know.
So tomorrow, when will the class tomorrow?
It will be the same time.
Which time? Same as same 8:30.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll be
Yes.
getting the link in this group.
Nope. Did you join with Rajesh?
I didn't. Tomorrow I will contact Rajesh because
Yes.
I taken the combo previous in the Dynamo batch.
Okay. Then that's great. Then that's great. You just get in touch with Rajesh and you can
Yeah, yeah,
join in the session. Yes.
yeah, sure.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
great.
But when I'm messaging the Rajesh number, but I'm not getting any reply because I'm messaging the WhatsApp, but I think he's not means getting that message. I think
Is it so?
because
Just a moment. Just a
yeah.
moment. Just a moment. Let me see. Is this the number you're texting on? Is this the
Mm,
number? Let me check. This
no,
one, right?
no, I can't see that either one.
Just a moment. Is this the number you're texting on? The number is 836-709-0636. Is this the number you're texting on?
1 second, let me check. Can
I'll drop it in the chat. I'll drop it in the chat.
okay, okay, thank you very much.
Yep.
This is interesting. Let's continue a little bit more.
Okay, that's great. I was expecting some enthusiasm, but I didn't get much. So that's why I was like, okay, that's it for the day.
Uh, Hello. Uh,
So if you guys are interesting, then I'm good to go. Okay. So
yeah,
let's.
last the number is last 67890.
No, the one I dropped in the chat. Please go through that. This is his new number,
Yeah. Okay, good. Then
right?
fine.
Okay. Okay.
So in this number I get it. Is it?
Yes, yes, yes. You can contact him, right? Yes.
Okay. Thank
Okay. So, Mr. KSP, thank you for allowing me to continue.
It's my pleasure
Okay.
enjoying this.
Yes. Thank you. That's what I was expecting. If many of the people are here, they should learn something out of it. Okay.
you.
So we have already done the exports. For now, I'll just comment them out because I do not wish to continue that every time. Okay. Now I have already have the file open with me, right? But what are the elements in their file? Can I check that? You see, in in this one, I have four of the walls, right? This is my current document. This is current document. Let's just say now I do not have anything, right? But let me open another Revit. Let's open another Revit in which I will open this new document to see what are the elements existing in that particular file. Which file we opened? We opened the path file. Which was the name of the file? Da da da. It was the first one, right? Let me open it so that you can see what are the things already there in the file. What are the things we will modify without actually opening this model in physically. Okay. Let me go ahead with the open. Da da da. Where's the path? New sample was the one that we opened, right? So I do not wish to open this. Let's just open another one sample. Okay, practice 2024. This seems good. Okay, let's open this model. Okay. You see how many walls do we have here? Who was the person from MEP? Someone texted in the group, right?
Yeah, I am the one
Okay,
because I
okay.
am working as a electrical BIM.
Okay, so let's just take ahead with the example of this ducts. How many ducts are there? What is this? Ducts, yeah. How many ducts are there? 7 ducts, right? There are 7 ducts in this model, right? So let's just go back to Revit, the other one that we have here. And what was the one? Let me check all Revits. What is the index of that particular file? Oh my god, this is still open. Okay. The index is index 1. So instead of opening this, I'll open the index 1. Okay. How do we get to know I'm opening the index 1? Let me check here. New doc dot. How do I check the name of it? I think till now you should be clear with that. New doc dot title. Let me run it. Yep, now practice 2024 is open. Okay, so now I have opened that in the backend practice 2024. Now what do I wish to see? How many ducts are there in this? There are, okay, please focus here. There are ducts 100 mm, right? And the number is 7. So what I wish to do is I wish to change the let's just say dia to 200 or 300, whatever it is, but I do not wish to change it manually because now I have opened to see how many things are there, just to show you. But in actual scenario I know these are there, but I wish to change. It is possible, right, Delhi, that you wish to change all the duct sizes at one point, but you don't wish to open the model, or the scenario could be anything according to your workflow, right? But I'll just giving you a generic example, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so in terms of that, let me go ahead with this sim only. There are 7 ducts. I will close this model right away because I do not want to keep that model open. Okay, now I will be going with something called as, if you remember yesterday I told you most important thing in Revit API is, what did I tell you? If you remember, if anyone remember, yes, what is it? Can anybody read that out? It is gonna be filtered element collector. This is the most important thing if you wish to continue with the Revit API, right? So let's go back here and search for the same. And similarly, it's a big concept, so I will not be able to explain much because of time constraints, but I will do it right away in front of you. I'll collect all the ducts here. Okay, from which document I wish to collect that? Is it from the document that we are working on? Is it so?
Yeah.
Is it this document that I wish to get, or is it the document that is open in the back end of my memory?
Okay.
I
Atkins.
Ex- exactly. So I will get the new document. That name is new document, right?
Yeah.
You know.
So I'll get the new document. So now I have the, okay. Now we have constructed a filtered element collector. On the top of it, we have multiple methods and properties that we're gonna use to get the particular thing. Now we have off class, and I will be telling you about the tool as well after some time in the session itself, obviously, which is the very useful tool, which is called as Revit lookup. But you will understand when you will be there in the sessions. Okay, so now what I have to do is dot off class. Class name is duct. Is it okay if I write it like that? Yes. What do you think? Okay, let's move forward. Off class duct. Is it all right? I want the elements. Should I put this to all ducts outside for that we could see that? What happened? What just happened? Anyone? What does it says? Can you see this? What does it says? It says duct is
Is
not defined. What does that mean? Let's come back here. Let me search for duct. Okay, what namespace is duct under? Yesterday also I showed you, right? Duct comes in.
db.mechanical.
Okay, db.mechanical. Perfect. Okay, let me get back here. Do we have it with us?
No, it's not in the file.
Of course, it's not there. So how will I get? How will the Revit know? How will this code know that what is this? For that, we need to import the namespace called autodesk.revit.db. And now, if I import, how many ducts were there in that particular file? That is not open on my workspace, right? It's not there,
Mm-hmm.
and it is not even
Yeah.
open in anyone, right? How many ducts were there? Do you remember? 7 ducts were there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you see, if I open that file again, you will see the pop-up that this file is open in some other place. Okay. Okay. How many ducts were there? As a, how many ducts were there? You can see it at the bottom as well, and over here as well. 7 ducts, right?
7 days. Yeah.
Yep. Let me close this first. Okay. Okay. So there were 7 ducts that were collected there. And what? And okay. One more thing. If something is linked with you, can you check the things out of there? What are the properties of the duct? Yes. What is the property that we wish to change? Come on, Dilly, that's for you.
Size, length,
Okay. Tell me the parameter name. You guys are aware of the dynamo, right? Tell me the parameter name.
set parameter you're saying about.
No, which one?
Element.
No, which parameter you wish to change? I'm asking.
The dimension, the cross section area or something.
Yeah, but what do you wish to change? I mean, do you wish to change something out of it? Like if I click on this duct, what do you wish to change out of? These are the parameters, right? I told you
Type.
we are performing an exercise that we will change
Yeah.
out
That
something.
length or size.
Yes. So see, there's something called as diameter, right? Can we change that?
Yeah.
Okay, then let me close this file. Okay. So first of all, these are all ducts. I wish to see first what are the duct name, what are the actual diameters already there. What was the diameter that we saw there?
I just don't remember size of the deck.
It was 100.
Yeah, 100 maybe, and not
Okay.
that.
Now let me create an empty list first. Okay. Mm, dt size is equal to empty list. Okay. So in that empty list, what I wish to check is I will put the duct sizes. Okay. So let's go ahead with each and every duct. This is a concept of for loop. This is a concept of looping. So I'm writing a for loop here. So to go through each and every duct and check the parameter. And again, how do we check the parameter? There's one more thing on the top of it. Right now, I'll be writing everything in single line. Okay. Control C, dt size dot append. And yes, when you will be also at a pro level, you will also be writing similarly like me in single lines. You will not like to go ahead with particular thing. And the way I'm writing in 2 lines, it can be done in 10 lines as well. Along with that, it can be done in single line also. I can do this in single line also, the way I did it earlier in the earlier. Here you see I did it everything in single line, right? It That's called list comprehension, and we can do that in single line also. So now what I wish to do is duct. Again, this is something Revit property that I'll be using, Revit's methods. Duck dot. What was the parameter's name? It was diameter,
It's yeah, diameter.
right? Dot as Okay. Now if I run it, what did I miss? Da, da, da. Yep, I missed a bracket. Yep. Now do you see? What is this? 0.032, 0.32, 0.32. What does it mean? Yes? Anyone?
In inches, it's
Exactly.
translating it to
That's right.
from imperial to metric.
That's right. Those are in inches. Now you see what I did is conversion factor, that is dot into 304.8. After that, you get to see these are in the 100 mm, right? What do you think? This is what we were looking from the from other model that is not physically open with me at all, right? Now let's just say I wish to change that. How do I change that? Can I change that? Again, similarly, I'll change it also in the single line. This is the parameter that I wish to change again. What do I wish to set it as? How much you want to set it? Tell me. How much do you wish to set it as? It's 100 mm already.
300.
Okay, let's make it 300. Is it okay if I write 300 here?
Yeah.
Is that all right, you mean? Okay, let me run it then. What happened? What happened?
That's getting error.
Read that. What does it says?
Yeah.
Modification outside the transaction. There is you see these things at the bottom. These are known as transactions. So if you wish to modify something, modification should always happen in terms of the transactions only. Transactions only. Okay. Okay. Now what happened? Yes. Ta, 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 ta. Yep. I need to first close this. Ta, 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 ta. Look upon this. Wait a minute. Now it's all right.
Inside the transaction manager, it says doc. No, shouldn't it be new
Yes,
doc?
yes, yes. That's right. So, who was this? Could you please come up again? I wish to know that person.
This is KSP target.
Thank you. That's correct. And I would like to have applause for you. The thing is, what we are doing here is this is my transaction, which is running in which document? It is running in the document
Current
that is over here. But I do not wish to modify anything in that. I wish to modify in the new document, right? If I put the new document and now if I run it, I should have the sizes changed already. The sizes, wait, now I should have the sizes changed there. And nudity. I'll put it here. Will be yes. See, it says true and changed. But you see, what is the size now? What are the sizes now? What are the sizes now? 91440. What does that mean? We wrote 300, and 300 is in yes,
it took it again in
yes,
inches or feet.
exactly. That's true. That is correct. So it is in inches, and I do not wish to have that. Definitely not. So let me just close this first, and now I'll close the document. How do I close the document? New doc dot close and now it will take the argument that I wish to save this file or not. I'll say true, and now if I click it, there will be a warning here. What will be the warning? Can anyone think of it? What could be the warning? Yes?
The file is open.
No, the file already closed, right? See, the file is read only, cannot be saved. This. Okay. Oh, okay. This file is open with someone. This file cannot be read. Okay. It is open already. Okay, yeah. When we open this file here, do you remember this file was, we had it open and then we ran it there. So that file opened as read only file only. That's why. So let me refresh it. That's all right. It's still saying read only. The reason being because we opened it first in our Revit and then we closed it. That's the reason. Let me open another file, A082. Okay. Now you see this another file is opening which is in 2023. It is being upgraded to 24. And that depends now, does that file is having ducts or not? If not, it will again throw me a warning. I think it's stuck. Yep. Any questions till now?
Yeah. So where we did at the variable all ducts,
Yes.
what is that last method? Two elements with open brackets.
Okay. I'll show you that also. What does it do is, yep, let me take you to the filtered element collector first. This is filtered element collector. Okay. So it is having some of the methods on the top of it, right? In this, I got the collection first. Out of that, what collection I wanted is, I used a method called of class, for which I wanted to just collect ducts, right? I collected all the ducts, and after collecting all the ducts, return the complete set of elements, right? So I used two
Okay.
elements, so it just returned me all the set of elements. That's all it did. Okay, I think it is stuck. That's all right. But yeah, this is exactly how it will work, by passing the parameter first, fetching the parameter, which was the parameter duct dot lookup parameter, which was diameter. I got it, and now then I set that to another value that I wish to, and then I close the document by passing the argument true. How do I know that I closed this document? If you come back here to the document, you see there's a method called close, which contains a boolean as well. Close bool, if I pass it true, it will save the modified things, and if I pass it false, it will save it without changing anything. Okay, any questions till now? I think that's stuck, and if I close it, all the code will be gone. So any questions?
What does that open square brackets do? DT
Yeah,
size is equal
these
to.
are the empty list, means I contain the list dt size, which is the empty container, right? Which will be a list. I defined that already, but it will be empty when I started in the 71 line number 71, you see. And what did I do in
Okay.
line 71? I kept it as empty, right? It was empty list.
Yeah.
But what did I do in line 74? I said dt size this list, I wish to append things out of it. That's why I mentioned, when you will be coming to me tomorrow, we will be starting with the basics things, right? Which will be the data types and all the things, right? And when we will come to
Yeah.
the lists, let me zoom out little. Yes, where are the lists? Yes, when we'll be working with list, we will understand the operations on the list. That is one operation that I did, is called dot append. So this list was empty earlier, I appended few things to that list, which was, what I'm appending is whatever you see in this bracket, right? So every time result is appending to this, result is appending to this, result is appending to this. That's why you see the dt size when you were, so the size is 100 mm, 100 100 100, right? So each duct was 100 mm. So it got appended to that, right? Does that
Okay.
clarify your question? So it is an operation on list. Dilly, is this clear for you?
Yeah. Got it.
That's great. Mr. Dilly,
Yeah, yeah.
I hope this also helps you. And any
Mhm.
other questions? And I wish to see you tomorrow. Then, if we do not have any other questions, if you do, please let me know right away. Yes,
So tomorrow we're starting the classes.
yes, hopefully, yes. And you will get the update for sure. That's why I mentioned, please get in touch with Rajesh. You
Yeah,
will
yeah,
get
sure,
all
sure.
the you will get all the answers. Yes. Sorry, got to leave. I have to go through.
How long is the course? Like, what is the
It will,
structure of the course?
yeah, this is the structure of the course. This is the syllabus. Class 1, which will be the introductions. I'll explain each and everything. If you remember the PPTs that I started, this entire things I'll have to go through the first in the first session, and I'll let you know about the basics, right? And then we will start with the basics of Python, which will go through the for the first 7 days, right? For first week we will go through entirely through the Python itself. We will not even come near Revit API. We will understand what are the basics of the Python. And till here, yes, I can see, yeah, till here we will understand what are the basics of Python. Then we will start with the, from ninth class we will start with the importing the libraries. What do you mean by importing of libraries? Do you see this? Everything above this, we will understand each and everything. What is the reason of CLR? What is OS? What is system? What is what is system? What is SYS? What is add reference? CLR add reference? Revit nodes, Revit services, Revit API, Revit API UI. What did we import Autodesk for? For what are the forms and what we imported from Autodesk as well, right? We will understand each and everything tomorrow, and then we will go for the documents. What are the what actually whatever structure you see at the top, right? That we will understand in this particular session, importing Revit libraries into Dynamo. We will understand everything here. And then we will start from the Revit API, right? We will understand the tools. What are the lookup? What is the lookup tool? I mentioned, right? The moment I opened this tool, I told you that I'll be explaining that tool in the detail. If you see this tool, Revit lookup, it is under my add-ins tab.
Yeah.
So I will be explaining this tool as so, and I would say this is a very good one for the if you wish to start. So then we will be moving on with the filtered element collector. The moment I mentioned entire syllabus, I told you this will be the very important thing. So we will be learning with the filtered element collectors, and then filters, other filters, Revit parameters. How do we change the parameter the way we saw right now? And then multiple things. How do we create elements? How do we work with views? How do we check the intersections? Right, intersections. And then you can check with the bounding box intersections. You can check with the element intersections with the solids of the bound geometry. Then you can go ahead with the ray projection. I love this method. You will also love it. This is called ray projection, which will help you in the clash detection, the precise clash detection inside the Revit itself. You don't even have to go to the Navisworks and do other things. You can create. See, once you are done with views, you know how to create a view, how to do everything, and you're till here you are done with how to create, how to check the clash detection. So even if you wish to create separate view for each and every clash, you are good to go till now. From here you will be able to do. Now whatever we saw is the from class 20, these two sessions we saw today, document operations and export NWCs, but there's very in-depth things left in that. So I just showed you the basics, not even the basics up top. Then we will be going with the storage UI, and at the end of the session you will, and the last of the sessions you will be learning the basics of C sharp, and you will know how to create your first zero touch node. I think you are aware of zero touch node KSPs, right, Mr. KSP? You are aware of zero touch node, right? What a zero touch node
No,
is?
no, no, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you see this whatever, what do I say, whatever custom nodes you see, right, these are custom nodes. But if you see, these custom nodes have
Yeah.
something at the back that you can go inside and you can check the code written behind it, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
similarly, if I give you the example of bimorph nodes, I have it here. If you see cat text, you see this is also a custom node, right? But you cannot see any data inside of it. There's no option to edit, right? So
Yeah.
similarly, this is what we call zero touch node, which does not give access to anyone, because it might be possible that you are writing the code for your particular organization and you don't want anyone to see the code that you have written inside of it, right?
Yeah.
So if you do not wish to go ahead to show the code to anyone, then we will go move ahead with the zero touch node. So by the end of this course, you will be able to create your own first zero touch node with the help of C sharp, definitely on your own, right? And
Yeah.
that's it. And last few days, last 3 4 days will be for the real time projects. The way Dilly was mentioned, he was, I think someone also mentioned, they have some certain workflow they wish to go at, family editing and all those things. Whatever left out of this, if you have certain workflow of your own, we can look into those in the last 3 days, right? So that will be the entire curriculum.
Because we have also in Dubai, there's a lots of family editing, family creation like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I think it will be very helpful for.
Yes, no issues. We can look into this last 3 sessions. Yep. Any other questions?
The other day I was installing Pi Revit add-on
Okay.
on
Yes.
my Revit 2025. So
Yes.
Revit
No, it will not. It is
23,
not. It is not working for 25. It's not yet out for 25.
23 it's working. 25 it's showing an error.
It will be work for 23, 24. It will work perfectly. For 25, it will not work because it is still under development for 25. Right?
Yeah, but one thing I have to ask. In the
Mm-hmm.
PyRevit, there is an extension EF tools.
Yes.
So I'm using that 2023, but when I'm installing that extension, it is showing the error.
I doubt that. That should not happen.
But in my another system, there was a 2021. So in that, when I installed that EF tools, that it is successfully I installed that. But in my laptop, I'm using the 2023. It is not showing it is showing the error.
Okay, no worries. We can look into it once we are in the sessions, right? That's not an issue.
Yeah,
We can
yeah,
look into it. We can
yeah,
look into it. Not an
yeah.
issue. Yes. Any other
Thank you.
questions? You're welcome. Do we have any other questions, or should we say good night for the day and we'll see you in the sessions live? Because there is not going to be any other demos than this.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So we'll say tomorrow.
Yep. Any others? Or I would say good night, everyone. Then,
Good night. Have a nice day.
Good night,
yes,
Sandeep.
you too. Good night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Thank you.